Hello everyone and welcome back to the Synergy Sanctum. My name is Justin. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here at the Synergy Sanctum, we specialize in all things related to Magic the Gathering, with a specific focus on deck building. So I aim to show you very quick deck techs that'll show you all of the cards in the deck and how they work together to ultimately achieve the goals of that deck. If you're not already, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. And we also have a sister channel now, so head on over to Commander Coliseum and check out their content as well. And for today's deck tech, we have Nekusar the Mindrazer, an EDH focused build around playing a bunch of wheels and getting people to discard their hand and draw a ton of cards, and then it's loaded with every card that benefits off of this strategy, either like doing damage off of draws, punishing people when they're discarding things, all kinds of fun stuff in this deck. Not really my cup of tea necessarily. I did build in, I played it like once or twice, but you know, you're just basically stalling out and draining everyone and pinning them every time they draw and discard. So it is fun for the right player, and we're going to give you a really spicy build today. So Nekusar says that at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player's drawing an additional card, so he has it built in on him. And then when an opponent draws a card, he's going to deal a damage to that player. So anytime they're drawing a card, they're taking a damage from Nekusar, and we've got the deck loaded with all of the other cards in red, black, and blue that do that as well. So the TCG market value of this deck is $332 to $384. Our land count is around 33 because we do have so much draw. I want to say like every card is basically getting us some type of draw or card advantage. So we're running 16 basics and 17 non-basics, and we're going to go ahead and dive in and see how we get into this. So there's going to be some pain cards in this deck that are basically we're forcing people to draw and discard, and because of that, they're then going to either take damage or have some type of loss off of this strategy. So Underworld Dreams is making them take a damage every time they draw. Same with Spiteful Visions, but it hits us as well. Razorkin Needlehead's doing the same thing. When an opponent draws, it's dealing damage. Psychosis Crawlers, when you draw, they lose life. Orcish Bowmaster, if you're wheeling somebody, you're going to get multiple triggers off of this damage to any target. Sheoldred is gaining you life and then draining everybody else. Saison is forcing people to draw 2 more at their upkeep and lose 2 life, and then they'd lose even more life if Nekusar is out. Phyrexian Tyranny is kind of risky because it is punishing everybody, but it's going to drain everybody for 2 life versus just 1. We've got Cerebral Vortex to draw and then have it do damage equal to the number of cards they've drawn for the turn, so kind of something to play after a wheel. Scrawling Crawler is letting everybody lose a life when they draw. Fate Unraveler is doing the same thing, and then same with Keteric Parasite. And then we've got, on the flip end, discarding pains. We're not just going to let people draw, we're going to force them to discard as well. Tergrid, God of Fright, had to do it. It's just so broken in this deck when you're forcing everybody to discard. Any permanent they're discarding, you're immediately getting under your control. So you play a wheel with Tergrid out, and then it's just like, that's it. You get everything that was good in their hand, and it comes on your side of the field. Surly Badgersaur's got tons of benefits. If you're doing lands, you're getting treasures. He's getting bigger off of creatures, and then non-creatures, he's fighting stuff. Waste Not is very appropriate here. We don't want to waste all of this discard, so there's benefits anywhere from zombies to mana, depending on what they discard. Rise of the Dark Realms is a backup strategy here, so if everything goes awry, we can play this late game. We can even play it early game if we're getting these wheels out and bring all those creatures back. Raider's Wake is doing the life loss on the other side, same with Liliana's Caress, and Migrim is doing the same when an opponent discards, dealing 2 damage to that player. So then we've got a lot of force draw here. So those were all the pain cards. That's what's going to happen when they start playing into our strategy. But we are running basically almost every decent card in these colors that is giving additional draw. So things like Zenith Chronicler, Howling Mine, Kami of the Crescent Moon, all giving additional draw. Font of Mythos is giving 2 additional draws. Horn of Green's giving it off of lands coming in for everybody. We're running the lands that force draw, Gaia Reach Sanitarium and Makokoro Center of the Sea. Force Fruition, if they decide to play the game of Magic the Gathering, they're going to draw 7 cards and then probably take a minimum of 7 damage. Burning Inquiry is really good because it throws in that random chaotic element. We've got Temple Bell for the single draw, and then Dictate of Krufix is doing it at upkeep. And then more forcing draw and discard. We've got Master of the Feast doing it at our upkeep. Everybody's drawing. Perplex is countering a spell unless they chuck their hand. Peer into the Abyss is so good because they're drawing half and losing half of their life. And then they're going to lose even more. So this is kind of a finisher. We've got Arcane Denial to counter and then force 2 draw at the next upkeep. And then Fevered Visions is doing it at the end step. And then here are our wheels. So we are running Winds of Change. Everybody shuffles their hand into their library and draws the same number of cards. Collective Defiance, Whispering Madness, Whirlpool Warrior. Teferi's Puzzle Box is doing it at the beginning of draw step, forcing everybody to basically wheel. Incendiary Command has multiple options, but also has the wheel on it. We've got the creature wheels with Jace's Archivix and Magus of the Jar. Magus of the Wheel, same thing. And then we've got more wheeling with Dark Deals. So Dark Deals having them do the discard and then draw -1 for whatever they discarded. Molten Psyches replenishing the hand for however much you discard. Sycorax Commander from the Doctor Who set is giving everybody a villainous choice. So they either chuck their hand and draw that many -1, or he does damage equal to the number of cards in their hand. So if they're going to keep their cards, they're going to take some damage. Reforge the Soul and Windfall are more wheels. And then we've got good stuff in the deck, so we're running Propaganda, so we can protect ourselves when everybody starts getting pissed at us. Kess Dissident Mage is giving us Recursion from the graveyard for instant and sorceries. We are running Dream Halls, one of my favorite blue cards, so instead of paying casting costs, you could chuck a card that shares a color type for a spell and then play that spell for free. So things like Omniscience can be played by chucking something like Lon River's Pool. We're running Cyclonic Rift to make sure we're controlling the board state. Targeted removal here with Chaos Warp. More counter spells. Crawl Space is kind of pillow forting us, similar to Propaganda. And then Lab Maniac, in case we do end up getting to the end of our deck, we're safe and we still win. And then here's some additional payoffs as well as some mana in the deck as well. So we're running both Niv Mizzets, Perun, and the Firemind because whenever we draw, they're dealing damage to any target. So if one of these are out and we're doing all this crazy wheeling, it's going to get out of hand and they're going to just be able to start blowing their dragon fire at wherever they want. And then we're running Soul Rain, Chromatic Lantern to correct our land base, and then Mana Flare to double up on our lands and the double up on everyone else's lands as well. And with that, our show has come to an end. Thank you so much for watching our video. And if you enjoyed that video, feel free to share it out with any friends who might find value in it as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. We hope to see you again soon. Have a good one.